If you remember from last time, I assist fed 5 baby snakes, and of the 5, I think 3 or 4 successfully ate, and now 3 of the 5 have just eaten frozen thawed for the first time without having to be assist fed or force fed. I have 2 left here that need to eat. I've heated up some mice. People will debate over, or they'll just say that ball pythons should just be given rats. And I agree, and if you can get them on rats, give them rats. But if a baby is not eating, it doesn't really matter about what's better for them, rats versus mice. What it's about is, can I get it to eat? Because if I can't, it's gonna die. So I'll either have to force feed it, or find a way to get it to eat, or let it go, or do whatever you do. I'm gonna do the best that I can to get the animal to eat, regardless of whether it's a rat or a mouse or it's a meal that's too small. I'll get a smaller meal because it's easier for it to get it down. That way, if it doesn't eat and I am forced to force feed it, I'm not having to stick something too big down its throat, because I don't want to kill the animal or hurt the animal. So it does make sense that a smaller meal would go down easier. And once they get a couple meals down, usually that's all it takes to get them started. And then later on, I'll alternate usually between mice and rats, and just alternate back and forth, and eventually they'll just be on rats. Oh, let me show you a trick. Here's a little trick. So if you're feeding them and you shake like this, sometimes you shake too much. So what you can do is you take your knee and you just kind of, see? I just bounce my knee a bit. I just kind of make it shake just a little bit, and I get the knee to do all my work so that my arms don't have to work as hard. And I just shake it a bit, just gently like that. And sometimes that's all it takes to kind of excite them. Or sometimes they just look at it and do nothing. This one struck at it, so like that is hopeful. Sometimes you can harass them a bit too, but I've made videos about all this, so I'll link that at the end of this one so that you can check it out, because it's just as soon as you scare them, they're not going to eat. So sometimes annoying them works, and sometimes just teasing them a bit, but if they get too scared, it's going to be a no-no. It's almost like you have to seduce them with it. It's like, here, let me stroke you gently on your mouth with my beautiful wet mouse. It's hot, it's steamy, it's dreamy. Okay, maybe we'll try a lighter colored one. I've heard too from some people that their snake only wants to eat white mice or only dark mice. So you never know. Oh, he struck. He struck at that. The art of snake seduction. Now I'm going to do an educational video with failure, where I don't get the snake to actually eat. Okay, we're going to try assist feeding. Spits it out. My favorite tool to get a rat or mouse down a snake's throat has always been a Q-tip. I like Q-tips because, I don't know, there's metal instruments and stuff, and they're hard, and they could cut them or, you know, hurt them. I don't think that you can really get hurt by being poked with a Q-tip. When doctors stick things in your mouth, they usually use like popsicle sticks or whatever. So this is like the snake's version of a popsicle stick. He is scared now. When you're around animals long enough, you learn to kind of know their body language. You see what's going on, you know what's happening. So that could be good because maybe he'll strike. But the thing is that a fear strike will usually not be an eating strike. So just because he strikes at it doesn't mean he'll eat it or grab it. But if he does, that would be really excellent. Especially considering like now he's not as safe as he was before in his home. Like now he's sitting in his tray with a pile of light around him, and he's scared of this mouse. So he's not striking it to eat it. And we don't want him to be just scared and striking. We want him to be striking because we want him to eat. And I would love it if he just kind of proved me wrong, bit it and ate it in front of all of us. But sometimes nothing in life just is easy, you know? Sometimes it's you gotta just do all the stuff you gotta do, you know? And he's a normal. Like, what is he? He's a normal het pied? Yeah, he's a normal het pied. But it's just like, people will sell a snake like this for 50 bucks. I won't. I'll sell it for 150 bucks. And it's because of the time put into it and everything. Another thing people will do is they'll just feed it live. It's easy to feed it live. And last resort, I'll feed a snake live, but for the most part I won't. And I'm already kind of regretting it with the African house snakes, because I have 3 black African house snakes that I fed live to keep them alive, and they won't eat anything else. So that's a bit of a pain. So let's get this mouse down this snake's throat. How's that sound? Party time. Oh, yeah, you gonna eat it? No. That would have been nice. Yeah, just eat it. Take it. He's opening his mouth. Yeah, but yeah, it's like he knows. He's like, you're gonna stick it in my mouth, so I'll open up my mouth, but then I'm just gonna spit it out. So, okay, so this is going down. So first I pop the head in with my mouth, with my fingers, and then I go from the side and I push the mouse in. Then I go to the other side with the Q-tip. I think I show it a lot better in my other video, but I'm just basically going very kind of gently, and I'm pushing the sides. You gotta untangle their throat. Sometimes they tangle up their throat. So you gotta keep that throat straight, because if their throat is tangled, guess what? The mouse isn't gonna be able to go down it. Sometimes that's enough and then they'll just eat it. Other times they'll find a way to spit it out. So sometimes, if it goes down easy, I'll just stick it down right away. If he spits it out, then we gotta do it all over again. But he was kind of like, sometimes they start eating it and it's like, yes, okay, good, you're gonna eat it. Sometimes instinct kicks in and they just start doing what they're supposed to do. But these have gone now a couple months without eating, so they need to eat. Ooh. Yeah, see, he just went from trying to push it out to starting to eat it, I think. Pinky rats and mouse hoppers are about the same size. And pinky rats, when you're trying to force feed them, they like explode. And then you have like nasty guts everywhere. So I like to use mouse hoppers now, because mouse hoppers have fur, they're more developed. Also, a mouse hopper is going to have more bone structure than a pinky rat. Good. Good boy. Yes. He realized he couldn't get it out, so then he decided to eat it. The first guy's eating, the second one's still deciding. And I don't do this until after like hours of trying to get them to eat frozen thawed. And you know what? It is so much easier to just throw in a live mouse, or to do this right at the beginning. But I want my animals to be doing it like naturally. I would rather starve a snake for a month or two and get it to eat on its own, and then it's never going to starve or anything because it's going to be eating properly, than kind of doing a quick fix. Because a quick fix is kind of like something like this, or feeding them live and just kind of avoiding that problem. Because a snake that can't eat frozen thawed is a problem for somebody that wants to have it as a pet. So I really work hard to get these animals to do this and to go through this whole process before selling anything. So these animals are not available. So there's a normal. I won't sell that to you until it's ready to be eating properly. Like 3 more meals in a row that it kind of eats on its own. That, my friends, is called integrity. Yeah! He's ready for another one. I think he sees the fuzzy microphone wiggling around. You want that? You may have noticed that they were in the same bin when I was first feeding them. I grow my snakes together in small groups. Now that they've been fed, you would never feed them together in the same home or leave them in the same home right after they've been fed. So they'll be moved into a small container where they can digest their food, and after a few days I'll put them back together. I have an interesting way of growing snakes together in small groups or in female pairs, or even sometimes males together for a certain period of time. If you want to learn about that and like see the process, it's not something that I would recommend for anyone else to do. It's just a system that I have found that works for me, and if you think that's interesting and want to learn more about it, watch that video. It'll be on the screen. Also, if you could please like this video, it helps YouTube send this video to other people. It says that I'm creating quality content, and if you feel that way, please help me out just by clicking the like button. It's not that hard, and I'd appreciate it a lot.